What's going on, everybody? This is Randall Barnes, the founder of HBCU Pulse and the host of HBCU Pulse Radio, in the building for another special edition of the show on today. Where listen, man, it's the fall. HBCU homecomings is coming up. And listen, there are a couple of songs that's taking over the yard at HBCUs. Slow Wind, Cowgirl Trailride. I had to talk to Dott in the building, who's the creator of these songs, viral acclaim. Listen, my brother goes to Fort Valley. That's my alma mater. He loves Cowgirl Trailride. So I told him I'm interviewing you. He's excited. So I got Dott in the building. How you doing today, man?
What's up, man? Man, it's all good, bro. Just I appreciate you having me, man. Having me on the show.
Of course, man. Like I was listening to Cowgirl Trailride like before this interview, really the whole entire day, because I knew I was interviewing you. And I'm like, man, that song is so smooth, man. And like I just asked you, how are you feeling? Like, all this success. You see everybody on TikToks doing the line dances, at HBCUs doing the line dances. So like, how do you feel, man? How you feeling with all the success?
I'm thankful, man. Biggest part of the blessing is that HBCUs and all colleges are keeping Slow Wine going as well, man. And when I say going, I mean as far as trends, we talking top 10. This is a song that I released in 2018, I think. So, right, that's that alone. Of course, Cowgirl Trailride is doing what it's doing. And again, like I say, just to have something to be relevant after all these years, as relevant as Slow Wine is, bro, it's all a blessing, man. I appreciate everybody, man.
I love it. 2018. Like that says a lot about the resonance of music. And I think, just how great, the digital media is and TikTok is, in the sense that like they'll find these songs and then now they'll go viral. Everybody's dancing to it. So I love it. We're going to get into that a little bit later, but I want to just start with your background. So I was reading up on your bio, and it mentioned that you started playing drums and different instruments at a young age. So how did, getting into instrumentation early in your life, like how did that shape your career and your artistry?
Just my love for music, at a young age, actually. I started playing the drums actually when I was 2 years old. But as I grew older, sports became my main focus. So, drums was just some second nature. I'm self-taught. My older brother's a drummer as well. And I went on through life, through college, and played a little ball. And once I graduated, I joined the band, a Zydeco band, in 2011. And I was with the band from 2011 up until my Slow Wine went viral, which was in 2020. So I played the drums for the band for about a year, and then I moved over to the rub board. So I played rub board from, you can say, from 2012 all the way up until 2020.
I love it. I love it. So Zydeco. So I've actually never heard of this before. I'm from Georgia. I'm from Macon, Georgia. I went to Fort Valley, so I've never heard of that genre of music. But like, just for me, when I listen to it, I might have heard songs from it before, but when I listen to it, it sounds southern. It sounds soulful. Like it sounds like I'm back in Macon and it's the summer when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
for
so
sure.
like just breaking down new wave zydeco, like that's what you call your sound, new wave zydeco. So
Mhm.
what elements define this new wave zydeco sound, and tell us a bit about how you're honoring these traditions, but also bringing your own style into it, because you also like Usher, you like Michael
My
Jackson, you
God,
like
yeah.
modern day R&B. So how are you mixing all this in for your unique sound?
So the crazy part about it, Slow Wine and Cowgirl Trailride is actually Zydeco songs. People chose to do shuffles, which, that's a blessing. Which the beat of Slow Wine is pretty much what all you can do is shuffle to it. Um, and what I'm doing is sometimes I use the accordion, sometimes I don't. But the foundation of the drum beat is what Zydeco artists typically use. Whether it's on a single beat, a triple beat, or a double beat. For people in the music, they'll understand what that means, but that's the foundation of Zydeco music itself, as well as added instruments, the main instrument being the accordion. Like I say, I may use it sometimes, I may substitute where the accordion may be for keyboards, or I'm pretty much one of the first to just rap on a lot of Zydeco songs as far as having my own Zydeco. No Zydeco artist has been solo like I do when I don't have my band. So, there's just a new wave of things, man. A lot of the older people, they just believe in what they believe in, which is fine. But the blessing is that I get to spread Zydeco music like I'm doing right now to people like yourself that's never heard of it. A lot of these places I go to, they, even if they've heard of it, they enjoy the music, but they don't know what it is. They call it Southern Soul or blues. You know what I'm saying? When really and truly is Zydeco music.
I love that. I love that. Yeah, like I think you're really exposing it to a lot of people because what I see from this new era of like music from the South, what I'm seeing is that different incorporations of not only the regions but the different cities and states. Because when I hear boots on the ground, and I hear that uniquely South Carolina sound, and I got to shout out Mike Clark, what I'm saying? Mike Clark doing his thing, man. And his songs sound like Macon. It sounds like where I'm from, so I think is something so key, with the regional and even city to city type of sound. And I got to say this too. You said that they're making shuffles to Slow Wind. Man, they make shuffles to everything at HBCUs.
Yeah,
so your song made it easy, but they'll make shuffles to the ABCs, man. Like that. That's just what HBCUs do. But if you're just joining us, we're talking to Dott, musician and creator of the hit songs Cowgirl Trailride and Slow Wind. So let's talk about Cowgirl Trailride. So that has become a cultural phenomenon, and I like Slow Wind too. I'm not a dancer, but I'm in the mix when I'm at the family reunion. I'm at the parties, and I see people dance to it. But man, Cowgirl Trailride, like that legitimately is like my song. Like sometimes I just turn it on. I'm just working. I'm like, I just want to hear it because from the beat to the vocals and all these different things about it, I just like the musicality of it. So I actually got this question from my brother. Like we were at the Clark Atlanta Fort Valley game, and we're sitting there. Fort Valley lost, so we had a time to talk, like through the intermissions. And I said, "Hey, I'm talking to Esther who made Cowgirl Trailride," and he said, "Ask him basically what made you use Shorty Swing My Way as a sample." And I added this part in, like, what made you use Genuine Pony as a part of the song? Now it's sort of self-explanatory why you use Pony by Genuine, but I want just to hear it from you.
What's crazy? The initial idea didn't come from either one of those songs. When I wrote the song, I had inspiration from other places, but neither one of those places is where I got my inspiration from. And I think when I explained it to Tonio, who's featured on the song, he kind of find his inspiration from those songs. But in a weird way, I didn't have neither one of those songs in mind when I wrote it. Now, mind you, the way the melody of the song is kind of hard to miss it because all of those melodies are similar in sound. You know what I'm saying? So we can easily find relevancy in something with similar melodies. But when I wrote it initially, how I wrote it was I didn't have neither one of those songs in mind. It just happened to have happened how it did, and it's working. So it's all a blessing, man. But yeah, a lot of people ask me about that. It's real similar to those, but from my point of view, it wasn't. I didn't even have those songs in mind, bro. But that's just how it works sometimes when you being artistic and you're an artist and you're a writer. Sometimes you hear those melodies without hearing it. I listen to so much music in a day's work. So well, when I'm writing, and my writing process is different. It's weird. I might get a title. I usually start off with a title, but throughout the day, I'll finish the song in my head and then put it down in my phone. So once I read it out, if I forget the melody I initially had, I'll be then switched it 3 or 4 times. So, it's just, man, the art of being creative is so amazing, bro. And like mine. So, here we are, man. It's relevant to a lot of those amazing songs. Any song that's so amazing that you can be compared to, or your song can be compared to, that's a blessing.
It really is. Like my first time hearing Cowgirl Trailride was actually, ironically enough, it was at my brother's graduation party. So we had a surprise graduation party for him. He was going to Fort Valley. He was turning 18. And then, my cousin is a DJ. And, he got all the songs. He's the reason why I heard Boots on the Ground a few months ago in February. So I'm hearing, cause I thought he was about to play Shorty Swing My Way. And then I hear Cowgirl Trailride. And I'm like, this is cool. Like, this is dope. So, like, I really like, because I like how smooth it is. Like, down south, like, we smooth. You know what I'm saying? So I like how smooth it was. And I saw everyone doing the shuffle. So I want to ask you this. So what was the inspiration behind the song?
Like I said, I usually get my title first, and Cowgirl Trailride just kept sticking in my head. Same for Slow Wind. I mean, it all just came like I get these titles in my head first, and then the concept, and then the vision. You know what I'm saying? So again, once I got that, kind of just hummed a few different parts of how I wanted it to sound. And man, like I say, it's just crazy how it happened. Cause when I act on the idea, I can't let it prolong because I'll move on to something else. So from the time that I got the idea that I hit Tonio up and shared it with him, probably like 3, 4 days we was finished, And I'm saying that, and that's going back and forth. Obviously, he's where he is, and I'm here. So going back and forth and bouncing ideas and running it how we did, like I said, it just came together how it did, man, and the rest has been history.
I love that. So let's talk about Cowgirl Trail Ride and Slow Wine. Cause like I'm just, for me, I just like talking about cultural impact, right? And I know that, especially these two songs on HBCU campuses, like they've caught fire. You have all these TikTok views and at all the HBCU events and family reunions and parties, like everyone is doing this song. And you said initially that Slow Wine came out in 2018 and you've
Right.
seen people do shuffles to it. So
Right.
from what I'm hearing is that it wasn't like you didn't say, "Hey, I'm making these songs for a dance," or you didn't make Slow Wine for a dance. So like, did you envision that the song would take off in this way, where folks are dancing to it and things like that?
Well, Slow Wine initially was absolutely done to be a shuffle dance because like I said, in regards to Zydeco music, that beat that it's like on the one. So all you can really do to that is shuffle. So it's like no other. I mean, now mind you, you can do what you want to do, but the rule of thumb in the Zydeco world would be a shuffle. That's a shuffle beat. When you hear that beat, they gonna shuffle. So coming out the gate is like we used to go to Dallas all the time back in the day when I was in the band, and they were shuffling to other Zydeco songs. So my idea was, I'm like, man, if I can just give them a shuffle, then at least I'll be in Dallas every week, and by the strength of manifestation, Dallas was one of my biggest support areas. Like when I first started, I was in Dallas and Shreveport every weekend, and Slow Line was all I had. Oh, at least the biggest song I had. I always had 2 or 3 songs running, but obviously being known for Slow Line, I didn't give people too much of a choice with that one. Now, Cowgirl Trailride, you can actually Zydeco to that one. If you know how to Zydeco, you can Zydeco without shuffling. But the vision for Slow Wine was 100% like y'all gonna have to shuffle on this song.
Hey, and they are.
And
Trust me,
they are. Yeah.
I'll see the
Yeah.
videos. They are shuffling. They're making it happen to that. And for me, how I look at it is that when you have these different songs that blow up, like these songs that folks dance to, they're a moment. And a lot of the songs that folks dance to and they shuffle to, like they resonate. Like we're still playing Cupid Shuffle.
Right.
I know that
Right.
that's a different style of song, but
Mhm.
Cupid Shuffle comes on, people run to the dance floor and they're dancing. That song came out in like what 2006, 2007.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, so like with the dancing element of it, like how do you think the shuffling and dancing element that these two songs invoke, like how do you think that's grown the popularity of the song, especially in this TikTok era? You're getting hundreds of millions of views on these
Mhm.
videos and this for the song. So how do you think the dance has contributed to that?
Well, people obviously, like you say, people like to dance, and it's obvious because, as you mentioned earlier, they shuffle into all kind of music, all kind of songs. I mean, that's the thing now. Like you have that's part of my blessing being, me being so appreciative is a shuffle coming out every day. It's people shuffling the songs that, in my unpopular opinion, don't even deserve a shuffle. But I always say that good music is always something that's gonna last. Like that's obviously the longevity of slow wine. If you break down the components of the music itself and the song, the lyrics, break it down. You can break down pretty much all of my songs, and you're gonna get the message. You're gonna get a vision. You're gonna have quality. That's the thing about longevity. Like, I'm not tripping on is 1,000 shuffles coming out a day because they break up your stream. Everybody trying to shuffle and be relevant in their own way, and you wonder why songs that's like you mentioned 10, 15, 20 years old that's still relevant because the difference is some of these artists, in my opinion, again, they want to be a part of the wave. So they think it's as simple as putting out a song and saying, hey, it's a shuffle. Y'all do a shuffle too. And people may do that, but then next week, are they still listening to that song? Are they still dancing? Next month, are they still listening to that song? Are they still dancing? Because me and you can link and say whatever we want to say. But if you can't get 1 million people to interact and keep it going for 5 years or 6, 7 years relevancy like Slow Wine has been, and I don't see Cowgirl Trailride slowing down anytime soon. I mean, you really just spinning your wheels. You can jump on board. It's cool for anybody, man. It's people jumping on board every day. Like I said, and they even have people that's putting together dances. But again, the main vision for me is always longevity, man, because people attention span is so short. But if you put that good quality out, like something you can't ignore, like 5, 6, 10 years from now, we still torches in the stable, we still slow winding, and everything else. Again, so I just feel good music is undeniable, man. It's gonna last.
And it is, and I think that that's the balance, right? I mean, we listen to some of the songs that resonate just in Black culture, especially down south. It's that balance of musicality, it's sounding good, the instrumentation's good, the beat's good, and then also the dancing and the ability to sort of bring extra culture of that region where you're from into it. So I think that's real. And if you're just now listening, like we're talking to S. Dott, musician and creator of hit songs Cowgirl Trailride and Slow Wine. Now, let's talk about the HBCU side of it, right? So,
Yes, yeah.
like, listen, like most of the HBCUs are down south. Like, we're concentrated down south historically for a lot of reasons, right?
Mhm.
So, what I see from Cowgirl Trailride and Slow Wine, like I said, it sounds Southern. And of course, it's Louisiana sound, but it sounds Southern. I think that for me, that is why we see HBCUs connecting with it. We see HBCU students at Fort Valley, at Clark Atlanta, at FAMU, North Carolina A&T. And even Howard's not down south, but I see sort of
Hey,
the
listen,
Southernness going up,
Howard been showing love for a few years now. That's the crazy part. Howard has been like consistent with showing love on this slow, and a lot of people. I hate to say names because there be so many. I don't want to leave nobody out, but yeah, I just one that stick out for sure. They've been running it for some years now.
Man, that one video I saw where like they ran up, start hitting it. I was like, man, that's crazy because it just because what I see when it comes to where culture is going, I see now because for years, and I think even Pimp C was talking about this, back in the day. A lot of folks were hating on the South. A lot of folks like, man, that's country. Man, we're not trying to hear that. But when they hear the instrumentation and the culture that comes from Southern music and the different variations of it, it's hard for people to get away from it. And I think that now people are starting to embrace them more. They're embracing the shuffles, they're embracing the quote unquote country culture. So I really think for me, that's why I see it resonating so much. So for you, because you said Howard's rocking with it, there's other HBCUs that are. So in your opinion, what makes these songs like Slow Wine and Cowgirl Trailride? What makes these songs resonate with this HBCU audience?
I think they just people are again the sound of my music is just feel good. Like I think in the beginning people don't because it's different. It's a different sound. It's Zydeco. People don't know what to do to my music. You know what I'm saying? If you never heard of Zydeco, if you don't know how to do the actual Zydeco dance, if you hear some of my Zydeco songs, you're not gonna know what to do. So I think people were waiting on something to do to my music. Hence that Slow Wine took 2 years to go viral, and it went viral from a shuffle. And Cowgirl Trailride took about a year, you know. But again, they enjoy the music. People that don't even shuffle, they just be like, man, I like that sound. I enjoy it. So I think, people we getting back to an era of dancing, which is amazing for everybody because I never been the person to just want to, sit down on the sofa, not to knock nobody, but just to get in the era, man. You have these kids in college, like it's a good time. You can go out, you can move, you active, and you enjoying the music and you dancing, like. Cause it's like a full circle. Back in the day, our parents they were dancing, they were doing a pop locking thing or whatever dance was popular at the time. But if you think about it, it was always a dance that was popular.
Yeah, it is. Pop lock is funny because when you said pop lock, and I just saw it in my mind. You know what I'm saying? Out there
But the
make that happen.
parties, that's what made parties back in the day. You never heard of a section jumping back in the 1990s or 80s or 70s or 60s. It was always, man, the floor used to be full and people dancing. So, full circle. Now the college kids, they have the shuffle some weekend out, and the impact is that it's so many people doing it together. That's what the movement is. People everywhere now is like, man, I wanna shuffle like that because they seeing these videos of thousands of people shuffling all at the same time. Man, that's amazing. Like it's hard to turn away from that unity. Like you see what you can do, you see how much fun all these people having. I want to be a part of that as well. So I think that's how the movement is running right now.
Yeah, I think another thing too, when you look at it, is just that cultural transfer. Because when we talk about back in the day, you had these different dances that will pop off in these different regions. I mean, like the transfer of it, it would take a long time for people to sort of get it, and everybody sort of in sync doing the same dance around the nation, unless it was on BET or VH1 or what have you. But now, because of TikTok, because of Instagram, because of YouTube, and these different social media and video sharing platforms, like you see everybody, like it'll be someone at Fort Valley that's like, hey, I saw Howard doing this dance, and now they in the dorm room, they learn the steps, so they know when it come on, they can run out. That's how they did at Howard. They can run out, and now they can do what they want to do when it comes to it. But I got to ask you this, right? Because it's homecoming season, all right, and with HBCU Pulse, especially on our Instagram, we really track, the homecoming activity and the artists that are going to be at homecoming. For example, Party Next Door is clearly doing an HBCU tour because he's popping up everywhere. Okay, he's on everybody's lineup: FAMU, North Carolina A&T, Spellhouse. So we know the artists. There's going to be a lot of popular artists that are going to be at the concerts. So listen, you taking over the HBCU world. Everybody's doing Slow Wind and Cowgirl Trailride, those dances. People are opening up the Zydeco. So I got to ask you, are you going to be at any HBCUs this fall?
Yeah, actually I am. I know I'm going to South Carolina next Wednesday for homecoming. And Samuel is working on a few of them right now. The crazy part is, like you said, the song is so popular all over. But as far as the business standpoint, a lot of these schools, they be locking these artists in like years from like last year type situation and all this other stuff. So, and two, just getting in touch with the right person at these schools. So we in the middle of working all that, man. You got us in the middle of one of the biggest songs in the world right now, trending in a trillion different places. So, man, HBCUs, y'all call me, man. If I'm free, we gonna work it out. And make it happen. I would love to be a part of it. Cause what's crazy is out of all of the videos I get, a lot of the times the request for me to repost or reshare comes from college students. You know what I'm saying? They want to be seen doing the shuffle, but not only that, they want their school to be known. Like, hey, I go to this school, man. Look, we all did it. Can you repost it? So it's crazy you ask that. To me, it all makes sense. I mean, y'all book who y'all want to book, but sometimes you got, call y'all see what's up. That's HBCU tap. Man, look, you the inside plug. Tell your people hit me up. Let's do it, man. Let's make it happen.
Man, I don't know if I'm necessarily the plug. I guess I guess maybe I am, or maybe I'm the outlet. I don't know. Maybe I am the outlet, because I definitely want people to tap in with you, because when it comes to the business of HBCUs, what I'll say is that yes, there is some long-term booking that goes on with some of these events, but often it's not. Often they just get them the month before. And that's not to castigate anyone as being unprofessional, but
for sure. Well, that makes sense too. But either way it go, listen, have them hit me if I'm available. we can come to an agreement that works for both of us, man. I'm with it because, again, it only makes sense. Whether I'm there or not, the song gonna be there. So why not? Let's come together and make it happen together. I'm definitely for a HBCU run, and like again, we are definitely working. So we're already in talks with some people. Who exactly, but I leave to my manager. I don't even. Let's let it
I
happen
got you.
first, and then you'll see me around or see me there. But for anybody that want to work, man, let's do it. I would love to make that run.
Listen, I love it, and we're gonna see. You ain't got to say nothing right now because we're gonna see the TikToks. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right,
when,
yeah,
when it's
you gonna
actually
see the
happening,
TikTok.
you
Yeah,
performing
yeah,
on that stage, and then
yeah.
people it's like they doing the slow wine cowgirl trail. So we gonna see it. So we gonna get to it. But I'm gonna say if Fort Valley is listening, and I know Fort Valley better be listening because my brother go to Fort Valley. Okay, he in
For
that
that
shit.
to tap in.
So listen, Fort Valley needs to tap. I got the hoodie on, man. That's my alma mater. So Fort Valley needs to tap in because they
Shout out to
slow
Fort
winding.
Valley.
They Cowgirl Trailride, man. So
But
listen.
look, I didn't been to already this year. I've been to Jackson State. Shout out to
Oh,
Coach, man. Coach brought me out to Jackson State, and I've been to Mississippi Valley a couple of weeks ago. So people it is aware. People are aware of what's happening, aware of the movement. And again, y'all just gotta hit me up, and we organize everything, and I'm there, man. But already starting out, yeah, I done been to Jackson State. Shout out Jackson State and Mississippi Valley. They done brought me out already, man. So we rolling, bro. We rolling.
already started.
Already
Listen,
started.
it's already happening, and pretty soon after this interview, it's going to be party next door, and it's going to be Dott and all the homecomings.
Party next door and it's that. It sounds like it makes sense to me. That's a
it,
hell of a lineup.
it is makes purpose. You got to add in my girl Lotto too. You know what I'm saying? Like
Whoever want to come, I'm fine. I don't even want my hand in the picking of who can
that
come.
makes it.
Just put me in that number, and we gonna make it happen.
Listen, I love it. I love it. So HBCUs definitely tap in, and this actually leads up to my final question. Where can we find you on social media? How can we contact you? Because it could be folks that want to reach out and bring you to more HBCUs. So where can we find you and follow you? And also, how can we just support you in general?
Follow me at real_S.SDOTT on all platforms. Just look for the blue star, man. Look for my booking information because I have at least a good 10 fake pages running right now. So if you find me, if my booking information is on there and the blue check, then that's me. If you don't see no booking, nothing. If I only got 5 posts, that ain't me. If it's 12 posts and 6 followers, that's not me. I ain't gonna never ask nobody for no. If I need to borrow $2, that ain't me. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, just be mindful, man. If my pages are both doing good on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So with that being said, if you see hundreds of thousands of followers and friends, then I'm sure that's my page. And again, as well as the booking information. So man, y'all holler at me, hit me up, hit my boy up. He's now on the team now for getting me booked at HBCUs, and one of us will be in touch with you, and we'll make it work.
Most definitely. And man, that's how I know you, Pop. You got fake pages. That's
Yeah, a bunch
crazy.
of them. And they and what's crazy is they up to date on my like. If I post a picture today, like tomorrow, that's gonna be their profile picture. So they not behind like doing well. You can be like, man, that's an old picture. They fast, bro. So I just a lot of artists struggle with that, man. I've reported of as many of them as I can, and yeah, man. I think if I ain't made it, I'm on my way.
Not that is. I'm telling you that is something that is unfortunate, but at the same time, that's how you know you made it because they wouldn't be impersonating someone that's not doing nothing.
Yeah,
so
they wild with it, bro. So
they are.
we gonna go. As long as I get the right booking information, man, y'all hit me up.
And what I'll say too is that if that account is asking for money, it's fake because have you seen Slow Wind? Have you seen Cowgirl Trailride? That's money.
I ain't asked for y'all. I ain't asked for no bread, man. I ain't calling too many people sweetheart and darling and good morning and all that goofy stuff, man.
And love. I hate when people say love.
Yeah,
Hey, love. No, don't call me that.
Yeah, they running the same play, bro. So yeah. Y'all know, man. Y'all know y'all should know. Just use your better judgment again.
For sure. But man, Dott, Man, appreciate you coming on. Listen, musician and creator of Cowgirl Trailride and also Slow Wind. It's been taking over HBCUs. Make sure to tap in. Thank you so much for tuning in. You're listening to HBCU Pulse Radio.